sejahtera and a very good morning. Yang berbahagia, Professor Technologist Dr. Ms. Laiha Kiah, Director, ADEC, Universiti Malaya, Yang berusaha, Dr. Zahiruddin Fitri Abu Hassan, Head of Division for Teaching and Learning at ADEC, and our distinguished keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Udan Kusmawan from Universitas Terbuka, Indonesia, and ladies and gentlemen and fellow educators. Welcome to the Teaching and Learning Symposium 2023, The Future of Assessment, hosted by the Academic Development and Enhancement Center ADEC at Universiti Malaya and generously supported by our gold sponsor, Constructor Technology, a leading all-in-one digital platform for education and research. And ladies and gentlemen, to formally welcome everyone to our symposium today, it's my pleasure to invite ADEC Director, Prof. Technologist Dr. Ms. Laiha Kiah for her welcoming remarks. Prof. Ms. Laiha, if you may, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning and salam madani. A warm and gracious welcome to our Teaching and Learning Symposium 2023, The Future of Assessment, Universiti Malaya. We are thrilled to have all of you join us for this momentous occasion, and today marks the conversion of minds and ideas as we start on a journey into ever-evolving landscape of teaching and learning assessment. The Future of Assessment 2023 is not just a symposium, it is a collective exploration, a gathering of diverse perspectives, and also a platform for a profound discussion on the crucial aspects of assessment in higher education. In our midst, we are honored to host a distinguished assembly of speakers and participants, not only from the rich tapestry of international academia, but also from various universities around the globe. Your presence here today reflects a shared commitment to advancing the field of education and also to enhance the quality of teaching and learning experiences. Throughout the symposium, we will be engaged in dynamic discussions and thought-provoking presentations that dissects the challenges in TNL assessment. Celebrate the creativity and envision the future possibility of assessment practices. Together, we will explore how assessment shapes the educational landscape and influences the journey of both educators and learners. To our panelists, thank you so much for being here. We have Prof. Dr. Udan Kusmawan. We will later have Prof. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman, Prof. Dr. Fauzia Abdul Rahim, Prof. Dr. Aino Mazia. We also have Associate Prof. Dr. Tazli and Dr. Zahiruddin Fitri. A heartfelt welcome to Malaysia as well as to Universiti Malaya. Your diverse perspectives and global experiences enrich the tapestry of ideas that we will weave together today over the course of this symposium. Right? Once again, a warm welcome to all. May this week's symposium be a source of inspiration, collaboration, and transformative ideas that will resonate long after today's discussion. Thank you for being part of the future assessment of 2023. So let the symposium begin. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce our symposium keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Udan Kusmawan. Professor Udan is a senior academic at the Faculty of Teacher Training and Education at Universitas Terbuka, Indonesia. He earned his Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental Citizenship Education from the University of Newcastle, Australia. Professor Udan's teaching and research experience covers various academic programs and spans nearly 2 decades. His interests include student attitudes towards science and the environment, app-based students' digital and online competencies, app-based teachers' readiness in higher, open and distance education, use of virtual labs for higher distance education, and AI-supported machine learning. And today, drawing upon his vast expertise and forward-looking approach to education and teaching and learning, Professor Udan will deliver his keynote speech on the role of assessment in promoting student learning and success. Prof. Udan, if you may.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Allahumma sholli ala sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Honorable Director of Academic Development of Enhancement Center ADEC, to Prof. Miss. This morning I was really, waiting because the person called you Prof. Miss. Sorry, I wonder if this is, my listening got wrong. I'm sorry about that. And then the Honorable Head of Training Division of the ADEC, Bapak Dr. Jahiruddin Fitri, the esteemed panelists, Professor Dr. Abdul Aziz Abdul Rahman, and then Associate Professor Dr. Tazri Ajijan, and then Professor Dr. Kiah from University Malaysia, University Malaysia. Actually, I'm waiting for my colleague from Ministry of Higher Education, but I think he cannot come this morning, but probably will join us in this afternoon. My colleague, actually, my family was. I'm all the member of the symposium. I extend my profound respect to all of you. Welcome to my session. I'm truly delighted to be here among all of you today. Of course, in this beautiful day in Indonesia, in Jakarta especially, our day is very hot, but suddenly coming rain. So much rain, flood everywhere. But here in Malaysia, temperature is very good. I really enjoy Kuala Lumpur. Okay, today before all of you, I'm honored by granting the opportunity to share my knowledge and experience with all of you. And I would say this is a smart topic because so far I'm concerned in Indonesia and somewhere else we tend to discuss, to talk about teaching and learning with the involvement of technology in it. So just teaching and learning with technology. Very few of them are discussing about assessment. But if we have a good teaching and learning process, probably the question is whether or not our student can learn from us, right? So I think we need assessment also. But today I think I'm really happy to be with all of you here to talk about assessment, future assessment. Okay. Here is the topic, ladies and gentlemen. We we will begin with the little bit historical context of assessment. This is, to me, it is important because then we will understand why we need to move to kind of situation where, you know, AI, last night we talked a lot with Dr. Chandi about AI. Imagine AI, right? So just like a human, another human in front of us, every of us. Okay, and then my presentation will end up with small comparison with today's situation, with AI help make learning more interesting and more personal for everyone. My goal is to present a comprehensive view of this change and how the change contributes to a more effective and inclusive learning environment. Okay. Where is the laptop, please? Okay. 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 Let's now start with the historical context. As we're looking back in the history, we could see the evolution of school assessment. In the past, I would like to talk a little bit about Indonesian context. In the past, like what we call Kiah in Indonesia, teaching was about speaking and response, verbally, right? Verbally in pesantren, in Islamic school mostly. And teacher and the Kiah would share knowledge to student, and the student would engage in a dialogue to show their understanding and respect. And afterward, the students are memorizing, repeating and practicing all they received from the Kiah, from the teacher. We call the teacher Kiah. And the more they are accurate, the better achievement considered for the student. In some places in Indonesia, this practice is still existing, especially where people who are going to Nahdlatul Ulama school, classical school. And as the time moved on to the 20th century, we all know, I think, there has been a remarkable shifting in educational assessment toward standardized testing. This is the issue, the main issue. So everywhere in the world, just developing standardized test, standardized measurement, assessment, and evaluation. We can understand this because such this approach was mainly due to the increase of student number, especially. So, consequently, the increase of school. Then, with this situation, education has been considered to deal with the word efficiency. So, every school talk about efficiency in learning assessment. So, the success of learning tend to be assessed from what it is, the score. So every school just creating score of the student. No matter the student, the school doesn't have really tools or information to access to each of the student. So mostly just go to a norm situation. So the score is, Okay. Standardized testing and assessment have offered a way to evaluate student learning on a much broader scale, of course, yeah. So we witnessed here that there was a shift that was marked by a departure from a personalized assessment methods of the past to the more uniform approach we see today. But then this changed again, ladies and gentlemen. The way of thinking, the one-size-fits-all starting fading. We begin to see again the value in recognizing uniqueness of each student learning. I think everybody here already talked about that. So assessment methods started to reflect this diversity, understanding that everyone is different. We all actually start to realize that we need to go to individuals condition, achievement of the student. So today we are at the point where assessment is not just at the end event. It is part of the entire learning process. This is the keyword, I think, ladies and gentlemen. So which are offering ongoing and continuous feedback while supporting both student and teacher. Now we view assessment as a helpful tool along the learning journey, not as a hurdle to be failed. By then, our journey from the past shaped our present, guiding us toward a crucial conversation about equity and inclusion in assessment. This reflects our commitment to honor the diversity of our student talent and background, blending it with cutting-edge solutions that address the need of today's education landscape. This slide gives another look toward the historical growth of the assessment. So if you see in this slide, the landscape began with the focus on constructivist theories, then progressed to embracing Piaget and Vygotsky insights on cognitive development. Following this, the emphasis shifted toward competence-based and authentic assessment. This sort of approach has already well known. So I think everybody here already well informed with this kind of approach of assessment. Okay, and aligning with the real-world skill, what we call authentic, and this leads to a period of standardized assessment method that we have discussed previously. So afterwards, advanced technology revolutionized education with various adaptive tools. Then back to personalized learning, catering the arrival of online platform and massive open online courses, or we call it MOOCs, which emphasize a more inclusive and more student-centered approach. So if we look at the overall journey, it is clear for us that assessment were originally personalized, indeed. However, with industrial growth and the increase in the number of students, of course, the school, the standardized assessment became the norm. But now, with the advancement of technology and, of course, AI, artificial intelligence, assessment are returning to their roots, at evaluating individual again. Next slide, please. Okay. As we all understand, I mentioned before, the arrival of various technology, including the AI, have been reshaping almost all aspects of education. Then we are faced with the key question. How do we really understand what students have learned? How do we measure the success in tech-driven educational landscape? What we have talked about authentic assessment, now here is the holistic approach of assessment. Okay. And then a holistic evaluation is all about looking at every part of the student growth. It is not just about their test score, it is about how they solve problems, how they work with others, and even how they feel. So since every student is different with unique talents, we need to make sure we give them all a fair chance to show us what they know and what can do. Compared to authentic one, on the other hand, this puts students in real life situation to apply what they have learned. It is about doing things like growing a plant from the seeds to show understanding in a hands-on way. Okay, probably someone may be asking if we need to figure out whether we should use holistic or authentic, or maybe which one. I would suggest you that whatever the decision regarding assessment approaches, as we bring in more advanced technology nowadays, we should be able to prepare future students even better than ever. Next, this is the sense we are making sure that all assessment we make are fair and inclusive for everyone. They're sustainable, be able to be keeping up with time. Yeah. With more technology in the classroom, our assessment could become even better. That's what I believe about this. So back to the question, my position as educator, I believe that blending both holistic and authentic assessment is necessary due to their respective advantages. With this combination, we can create a more powerful and create a way to evaluate student learning. As I mentioned before, holistic evaluation considers the whole student achievement, their strength, social skill, and personal development. At the same time, we need to involve students authentically by bringing the student learning into real-life context in order to encourage them to use their knowledge practically. So combining these two, I would suggest a smart holistic assessment system which integrates smart technology into holistic assessment. Smart in this point, we can refer this to just like technology. Okay. This approach not only gives a fuller and broader picture of student achievement, but also equip them with essential life skills. A smart system of assessment represents a technology-enhanced strategy for a more comprehensive understanding of personal student learning and growth. Next. Okay. And as we delve deeper into the distinction of modern assessment, now we come to the essential concept involved in equity and inclusion. In the next slide, slide this and the next one slide, we will discuss the transformative principles and methods that are shaping the way we evaluate academic success within our diverse education landscape. We start discussing this principle with the understanding that the approach doesn't fit all learning scenarios. Hence, we need to go beyond one size fits all. Involving methods that address individual learning path. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. We then confront challenge to cultural biases, ensuring our evaluation are culturally sensitive and fair to all students. This is what had been happening in Indonesia. Recognizing diversity in learning style, this is also in Indonesian situation, is our next principle, where we adjust our assessment strategies to fit the unique way each student learns and expresses their understanding. I will be explain this in our forum in the context of Universitas Terbuka Indonesia. And finally, we commit to equitable assessment principle, which is about designing our assessment to be fair and to give every student an equal chance to showcase their abilities. So together, these principles create the basis of smart holistic assessment system, guiding us toward assessment and that are dynamic and multifaceted as the student we nurture. Okay, next slide. On slide, okay. On this slide, we will explore the essential method, ladies and gentlemen, of our smart assessment approach that ensure fairness and help our student achievement, rather than relying on implementing a final examination system or method that assess past performance. Instead, we need to move toward a system that offers feed forward at every stage of assessment. So, assessment can be considered just like a checkpoint for every student learning to be able to continue to their further study after the assessment. So this approach provides students with the insight and guidance they need for continuous improvement and growth in their learning journey. Firstly, equitable, authentic assessment are designed to represent real-world challenge, helping students get ready for situations they will encounter beyond the classroom. We are transitioning from traditional to one-time testing to a sequence of formative assessment. So a sequence of formative assessment, where feedback serves as a foundation for future learning experience. So next, number 2, multimedia integration for diverse learner promises that our assessments are engaging and accessible to every student. by implementing various media means that we are organizing a diverse learning style effectively. Then with number 3, inclusive adaptive assessment, we are customizing our evaluation to the individual progression of student, offering customized feedback and nurture their development through various types of ongoing continuous assessment. And lastly, equitable real-world case study connect theoretical knowledge with hands-on practice, equipping students with the skill they need for real-life application. By putting this method together, we are driving from summative assessment toward a formative approaches with emphasis on continual advancement and readiness for future student learning. Next, please. Thank you. So, okay, this is the challenge. Before we get into the main part of talking about applying AI, we will talk a little bit about that, but I think Pak Tadli will have much more information on that. So, let's firstly explore the challenge and opportunity and in education assessment. I hope with presenting this in advance, we could have a clear understanding of why it is important and that we need to discuss integration. We can understand why we need to discuss the integration of AI into our future assessment. Okay, firstly, we are presented with the idea of scaling authentic assessment. We must realize that we are facing a dual challenge, lying in offering meaningful feedback and ensuring that our method can reach many students without losing quality. Essentially, it is about discovering a balance between personal education and its practical delivery to a wide and broader audience. Therefore, we need to consider AI in assessment. So, as I understand, artificial intelligence holds great promise for education, offering the potential to revolutionize how we conduct assessment. AI can automate, ladies and gentlemen, and personalized learning, providing real-time feedback that adapt to the need for each student. I just repeating what ChatGPT said to me, actually. But let's see, in the forum probably we will discuss a lot about this. Okay. However, with this promise also comes challenge, particularly in ensuring that AI tools are to be used in ethically and effectively without introducing new form of biases and inequality. Okay. Equity and tech-driven assessment. This is important. It is another important challenge to be considered. As we integrate more technology into assessment processes, we must learn to ensure fairness. Digital assessment can open access to learning, but can also unintentionally affect on inequalities. If not all students have equal access to the decision technology, or if the assessment do not account for diverse background. Lastly, I would suggesting a collaboration for assessment evolution. It is likely that the future of assessment is not just shaped by educator or technology alone, but by the global synergy between educator, institution, and technology companies. So by working together, we could create assessment that are not only technologically advanced, but also pedagogically sharp and aligned with the need, of course, of the student around the globe. In short, we approach our main discussion on AI and a little bit recognition on Bloom taxonomy. I would like to show on next slide, please. Bloom taxonomy that was revisited. This is really interesting to me. It is telling us what we need to keep up with technology and use AI to help every kind of student we have. So with this image, I think If you can see, we are suggested to modify activities and assessment to better meet learning objectives and to address any issues identified during the educational process. So imagine the old day I have taught before, when students would repeat lines from a book to remember them. Now with AI, we can have a classroom where learning is like playing a video game. For instance, an AI program could make a history lesson feel like a time travel adventure. A lot of application on this. Every time a student answers a question correctly, they can go move forward in time. Seeing my event, they learn about come to life. This is not just memorizing. I could consider this is experience. My son, he learned chess from the game, and now he can play chess, and he go to for competition, and he got award from the competition, just learning from application, not from a school for materials or thing. And for higher level of Bloom taxonomy, like analyze and create, AI can be a real game changer. This is all important for us to consider. Think about a student learning about the environment instead of just reading about pollution, for example. They could use an AI simulation to see what happens when they clean a virtual river, do planting and more tree. So they can try different solutions and see the effect right away. Will help them understand and care about it. Okay, in my case, in Open University, in Universitas Terbuka, we try to go to advanced student when they are doing finalize their program. We usually, our students usually conduct a thesis, right? Scriptsy, what we call it. Mostly before that, the student really deal with so much tables, statistical data, this sort of thing. But now with AI, for example, with ChatGPT, the AI can do the analysis. And what I challenge my students is to understand why this situation is happening. So a little bit higher than before, I think. Okay. That we need to consider this situation because in my country, because my country has standardized testing, still go with that situation. So AI Bloom taxonomy is still important in our country. Next slide, please. Okay, this is amendment. I think we all already know because it's available online website. Okay, next. Here we can jump to the conclusion. Next slide, please. Okay. As we to wrap up my presentation, we have observed a significant shift assessment greatly influenced by the AI. We have moved from traditional memorization to a system where AI support a more adaptive, more personalized, and contextually relevant learning experience. This evolution aligns with the redefined Bloom taxonomy, which now include interactive element of learning, like remembering and analyzing enhanced by AI. But secondly, we have also acknowledged the challenge and opportunity brought by AI. While it increases the deepness of learning, it also brings complexity, especially in integrating technology effectively and ensuring that it can scale up to meet our need. So AI should serve a dual role, acting as both a challenge to overcome and a powerful tool that transforms assessment methods and enrich learning experience. Next, please. Okay, before that, we recognize that the delicate required when innovating with AI in education, it is not just about employing AI for efficiency. It is about enhancing the personalization and quality of the learning process. So we are committed to using AI thoughtfully to ensure that technology enrich rather than complicate the education journey. So looking forward, we envision a collaboration future where a continuous evolution in our methodology is the norm. We aim to integrate AI dynamism and adaptability into our assessment, ensuring they remain relevant and supportive of every student learning need. Educator, technology, and learner are coming together in a unified effort, of course, to shape a responsive and innovative educational landscape. This collaboration is essential in crafting an educational experience in both current and future ready, preparing students not just for exam. This is important because still happening in my country, school preparing students for exam, but for challenge the opportunity of the world beyond. Okay, I think, thank you. I hope those presented today will provide insight to all of you, at least trigger that we need to always consider assessment while talking about teaching and learning, because mostly in our country assessment is not really considered important, or probably they forget about it. So just teaching involving AI, that sort of thing. And I teach my son, because my son already used ChatGPT from the school, senior high school and junior high school, imagine. And I teach my son, I help my son, I talked to him that ChatGPT is look like clever, seems like a human, but it is not a human. They do not understand about you, they do not understand anything, except they just follow what you want. So just be clear with what you want. My son, I have my son in junior high school and elementary high school. They both are already using ChatGPT. I'm nervous actually, because with that I really observe of what is doing by my son, because I'm afraid if my son go like, for example, lazy, that sort of thing. But then no, ChatGPT is it seems like they use ChatGPT just another way, because probably Gen Z, right, different with generation act just like me. Okay, thank you for your attention. My apology if it is not reach your expectation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
May we open for questions and answers?
Yes.
So we'll open the floor to any questions for Prof. Udan's keynote speech.
Hello, Prof. I'm Udan from the Faculty of Languages and Linguistics. I would like to know what is the main challenges of cultural biasness in Indonesia.
Oh, thank you. Ibu, what is it? One name? Yeah, cultural biasness. My country has a lot of, various culture in my country. Lots of isolated island, small island, and often among us do not understand each other. And our education system is standardized education system in Jakarta. Often the standardized education cannot familiar with specific culture in Indonesia. Like for example, because of people in Jakarta designing education standard, education curriculum, the curriculum goes to the east part of Indonesia, Papua, and the west part of Indonesia, Banda Aceh. Banda Aceh, Islamic environment, the culture influenced by the Islamic values. But in Papua, it's a different thing. So when we are not careful in designing the situation, so then there will be a bias in measuring the achievement of students. So sometimes, like for example, a test, we develop a standardized testing. For students in Jakarta, the test is considered not really difficult. But for students in Papua, in Ambon, and in some other Moluccas, for example, the same question is considered difficult. So the government can design various assessment in terms of the difficulty of assessment to consider that, and also example. When we develop a kind of handbook for education, sometimes experts in Jakarta doesn't understand that in Papua they do not have train, for example, but they just give example with the train to the student. So the student, of course, doesn't understand what is this train. Farming. Sometimes in Jakarta, current student doesn't, have never seen about the farming area. But when we go to an example with the farming area, a student in Jakarta really doesn't understand about that. And also, we should be careful to create an example in religious things because it's so so sensitive. In Indonesia, we have various religions: Islam, Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, some Yahudi. So, so we we cannot go to that sort of situation where we giving example to I hope I can answer the question.
It's fascinating. I think we have a question at the back.
Good morning all. Thank you so much, Prof. I have a question regarding integrating ChatGPT. Can we ask students to cite ChatGPT in their assessment? Because we cannot, prevent them from using it, and we have to accept it and we have to adapt with it. But the question is, if we cannot cite Google, the information that we have in Google, to reduce plagiarism as much as we can we ask the students to cite ChatGPT once they use it? Is it scientifically accepted?
Very hard question. I even don't know. I use ChatGPT for myself, for my for creating a book. But I have experienced two situations with ChatGPT. The first time I know that ChatGPT doesn't know who he is. So the ChatGPT cannot say I am or saya. ChatGPT say I'm not saya, I'm ChatGPT. But now ChatGPT say I am saya in my language. So just like a human. So when having this ChatGPT into the context of learning, my experience, I just trying to conduct more research with my student in online tutorial. So because I cannot avoid my student using ChatGPT, right? Because online learning. So I allow all of you to use ChatGPT for answering discussion, for responding discussion. Because part of the online tutorial in my university, we provide a topic for being discussed by all the students. So every student open ChatGPT. The answer is excellent. But then at the final, I conduct online meeting with the student, mostly in the week 3 and week 5. I conduct a synchronous meeting with my student, and at this time, that's the time for me to see whether or not they have learned something from the competency. Yeah, of course, everybody who teach in the university, create a competency for students to achieve. So by synchronous situation, this is the only way for me to see, to observe whether or not our student have learned something during, for example, 2 weeks before. But if we just reading text answer of the student, I mean, not disbelief, but yeah, the answer is good, excellent, but I'm not sure that they really understand even what they write down and upload to the application, to the platform. But I appreciate it because ChatGPT provides various answers. So every student, even though they respond to one same question, so ChatGPT will create various answers. So I'm happy because before that, I need to go to Turnitin. I need to use Turnitin to make sure that our student doesn't do copy paste. But now I'm free with the Turnitin because I believe ChatGPT can create every single different answer for the student. So I left Turnitin. I just read the answer and go for a synchronous meeting with the student. So last time, in my case, synchronous meeting with student happened only 2 hours, only 1 hour meeting for synchronous. But now I deal with the student. I have 2 hours at least for conduct online meeting with student. It's tired, but I have no choice to do that because I need to make sure that our student one by one provide verbal response to me online during the online meeting. Is that answer your question?
Prof, if we may ask, in their papers, when they are writing papers and submitting assignments, do you feel that students should cite if ChatGPT, if they got an answer from ChatGPT?
Not really, because in that situation, I allow my student to use ChatGPT. So whether or not the student use ChatGPT or you just Google to browse answer, that's okay to me. So not necessary for my student to say that this answer is from ChatGPT, because that's necessary. It's already their own answer, right? It looks like their answer. I cannot say that this is from ChatGPT, so you come up with the excellent answer. Irritating the student. So to appreciate what student does, I think we can just receive the answer of student, the excellent response, without asking whether or not it's from ChatGPT. References, yes, because ChatGPT also frequently provide, if you go for premium one, very close reference from given to ChatGPT. But again, okay, this is important, I think. On daily discussion with the student, reference, I mean, I'm not really concerned with the reference provided by the student, but at the end, because at the end, students have to provide like report from 10 pages report, around 4,000 words. References, I mean, I deal with the reference provided by student, because sometimes ChatGPT just provide reference that is not really accurate. So just check randomly, not all of them, randomly to see if the student also check the reference, making sure that what they do is properly cited in their work.
I hope that helps to answer the question. We have time for one more question.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Thanks for your very insightful keynote speech. I'm Hafiz from USI. Now we are empowering micro-credential everywhere. We are focusing on micro-credential, right? So in OBE we know that we have 3 domains where we have cognitive, affective and also psychomotor. In order for us to test our student on each type of domain, I'm not afraid for cognitive because we can give like puzzle, fill in the blank, or using MCQ questions. But how about psychomotor and also affective domain? For instance, we have communication skill that need to be achieved by the student. And then we are encouraging our lecturer not to give us assessment such a way that they need to evaluate one by one. Let the system evaluate the answer of the student. So in affective or psychomotor domains, how can we enhance the assessment part? That's all.
You are asking about psychomotor, right?
And also affective domain, because affective we need to apply the knowledge.
Okay.
So how can we give the assessment to the student?
Individual thing, right? Okay. In open education in my university, psychomotor thing is not. I mean, we have three kind of courses in my university. The first kind of courses is about the foundational courses. The second one, we have practical courses, and the third one is final assignment, just like thesis, this sort of thing. The student deal with this kind of courses differently. For foundational courses, mostly we measure the student with the test, final test. For the practical courses, because we involve psychomotoric thing, so we call it unjuk kerja. Unjuk kerja in Malaysia, what is it? Unjuk kerja. So the student have to demonstrate their understanding directly. So, for example, we can, in my faculty, because all the students are teacher already teaching in some school. When we need to understand whether or not the teacher have improved the skill of teaching, so we can get together in some places arranged by the regional office. So the tutor go to that place, and also the student get together in the place, and the student just present just like teaching, micro teaching things. This situation happened only once during the semester, the real thing. the rest, micro teaching still conducted by using the typing video. So students just record their own practice in their own classroom and send the video to the platform, and we can deal with the video, observing the video. And the video, the length of the video, only 3 or 4 minutes long. No, not too long, because about size, my university policy. So just for 3 or 4 minutes. So we observe from this and gives just like to assess what is happening in the video. I mean, we can put some grade to the student. The student have to create 2, sometimes 3 video teaching different content in their school, and then upload to the platform. We measure, we put grade to this video, and then finally to finalize the course, we get together and then unjuk kerja. The student teach in the classroom. The student, their college, the other student pretending his student, just like micro teaching. And then there is a real teacher who help the tutor to to put a grade, and then also to give like comment and respond to what they do in the classroom. So that's the thing. We have rubric, standardized rubric to evaluate, to assess this kind of courses. And the third one, of course, the third type of course by country is just final program, final thesis, this sort of thing. So it's but this is also, there are 2 type of final thesis. We can, the student can go for final essay, theoretically, but covering not only 1 course, but covering 6 until 7 courses together, landed into 1 essay. They answering the essay directly, face-to-face, in a certain schedule given by Universitas Terbuka. So they can choose whether go to this essay test, which is more I think more difficult, or go to the writing thesis. Nowadays, writing thesis is much more popular because of the ChatGPT. Okay, we must be careful with ChatGPT. Friends, but sometimes become not enemy, but just be careful with ChatGPT. Okay, hopefully I can answer question.
Thank you very much, Prof.